Fabric has gotten so expensive. Heck, everything has gotten so expensive. I want to add a few blouses to my wardrobe. But when I looked online at the style and the options that I was looking for and at, the price range was out of my price range. So instead of spending $40 or more on one blouse, I opted for making one, or two, or more. I am going to take these 100% cotton queen size bed sheets that I got on Amazon for $25, and one queen sheet has about 6 yards. I have two, therefore I have about 12 yards of fabric to work with for $25. Now that I have chosen my fabric, it is time for the design stage. Now the style of blouse that I am wanting to make is a poet's blouse, or a Renaissance inspired top. Think pirate's shirt. I want the shirt to be baggy and poofy with poofy sleeves, and I want the length of the shirt to be down to at least my hip. So in order for me to make a pattern for this blouse, I'm going to take scrap fabric, drape it on my dress form, draw out the shapes for what I'm wanting, and cut out those pieces. I am then going to take those pieces and transfer them onto craft paper. I will not be making a mock-up for this blouse as I am intending for it to be baggy and flowy, therefore I have the confidence that I'm going to be able to do this the first try without needing a mock-up. Now that all of my patterned pieces are cut out, I am going to head upstairs by the fire where it is nice and warm and get all of my fabric pieces cut out. I'm going to start by cutting the front and back of the bodice and the yokes on the fold. I am using a bishop sleeve pattern for the sleeve, but cutting it to be bigger as I want the large sleeves. I then fold the sleeve in half, then cut the other side for symmetry. Now it is time to assemble the blouse. I added a dart in the middle of the blouse to connect it flush to the yoke. I pin it in place, then head to the sewing machine. Now that the blouse is sewn together, I am moving onto the sleeves. I gather the ends of the sleeves into the cuff, pin, then sew in place with a top stitch. To finish assembling the blouse, I leave the blouse wrong side out. I put the sleeve right side out into the armhole and pin it to the armhole. All that is left is to sew the sleeves on and add the buttons to the cuffs and hem the collar and the bottom of the blouse. Now that came together really quickly. It only took about 3 hours to make. And it saved me $40. Well, not really, because I spent $25 on the sheets, but I got one blouse and it was a half a sheet. So I could get 2 blouses or 4 blouses and a dress. $40 shirt, $25 sheets, and I still have a lot of fabric left to work with. Therefore, got my money's worth. Now that the blouse is done, it is time to style her. Are you ready for the reveal? right, my Renaissance shirt is done. Haha, I dig it. Now what I'm going to do is, yesterday I was cutting the pattern pieces for the shirt that I found on Pinterest. I don't even know what to call it. It looks like 70s does Edwardian, kind of. I don't know, I guess I should come up with a name for it. It's not exactly my design, so I don't know if I could do that. However, it is time to add the lace to it. Now, if we look on the picture, there's lace on the top part of the sleeve, so I need to figure that part out. And also for the front and the back top pieces, I'm really bad with terminology here, but there's also lace there. So I was thinking that what I should probably do with that is, I'm not gonna make it to where it's like see-through. I have the pieces cut out already. So what I'm going to do is just cut the lace out of the same pieces, and then I'll just lay the lace over those pattern pieces and then sew it into the shirt. That's what I'm kind of figuring. And then as far as the sleeve portion, I don't know. I'm just gonna kind of wing it on that. I don't really know what I'm doing, but we're gonna figure it out. In order to create the pattern for this blouse, I draped scrap fabric on my dress form and began drawing the shapes and pieces that I wanted. Once I cut them out, I transferred those pieces onto my fabric, making sure to leave a 3/8 inch seam allowance and a 1 inch seam for the shoulders. All right, this is both for the front and back portion of the top. I am going to fold it over just like this, creating my, I don't know, half piece. That's not right. This is the lace that I am using. It has a floral design, and I'm going to fold it over. I have to cut out 2 of these. I matched the yoke pieces together and cut lace for the collar. Moving on to the sleeves, I wung it here. I can't explain what I did, pinning those pieces together. The lace will be sewn into the sleeve, adding texture. Moving to the sewing machine, I sew everything in place using a straight stitch. All right, this is what we are now working with. For the most part, the shirt is done. However, I did notice and realize as soon as I put the shirt on the dress form, I didn't add any ruffles. And the ruffles were supposed to be sewn into this part here in between the lace and the regular shirt. I really don't want to have to take it apart in order to add the ruffles, but I may have to. I don't know. I'm just kind of figuring this out. The sleeves turned out pretty okay. I do need to add the cuffs onto the ends. And also the last thing that I need to do, and I kind of figured that this was going to happen. So here is the back. The back looks nice, fits great. I did I basically just copied the back for the front. And because I did that, the front part of the shirt is not right. So now it's tweaking time. I'm going to come in, I'm going to cut this all the way down. I will be adding buttons onto the front, which I did not intend to do originally, but it's just something that's how it's going to have to happen. Also, I'm going to shorten the collar here. I did sew another collar just in case I wanted to add it, which I probably end up using that because I'm going to be shortening this so much. And then that's really it. I have to hem the bottom of the shirt and then it's done. I do not foresee this taking an extremely long time. the ruffles is what's going to take the longest. I really wanted to have the ruffles in this shirt, and I guess I just wasn't paying attention. Some final futzing is happening now. I am almost done with this blouse, and soon we will be ready for the reveal. And now this blouse is done. It did not turn out the way that I was expecting it to, based upon the picture that I had showed you of the inspiration for making this one. This one turned out to look very similar to the other one, except for that the sleeves are bigger and it's got lace sewn into it. I feel like that's almost the only difference. I think that I will be trying this pattern again. I do want to try to get those ruffles on a blouse. I think that having the ruffles right here and along the edges, I think it would be really cute, and I would like to have a shirt like that. Now, another tweak that I will be making to the pattern is going to be the cuffs. I don't know why. I don't even know if I did. I don't think I wrapped the cuff fabric around my wrist to even see if it was the size. I think I just cut one out and guesstimated, and I was wrong. The sleeve cuff is very large, but it also plays into the shirt being large and oversized, so it's fine. The length of the blouse turned out pretty okay. It's right at my hip line. I don't know, it feels a little weird. It's either not long enough or it's not short enough, but I don't think that it's not short enough. I am just here to try to figure out how to make some clothes that I like, that I don't want to pay for or can't afford. And, you know, this is my process. So for me, it works. But I want to say about the blouses as a whole, for me, not really knowing what I'm doing. I'm still very much a novice at sewing, not having patterns, just kind of figuring it out. I think that I'm doing pretty well. Sure, things could be fixed, but I know that for next time, and that's how these things work. There's the process. Now, both of these blouses have a Renaissance feel about them, so I will be able to layer them with a decent amount of my wardrobe. I mean, white goes with anything, and everything could use something with puffy sleeves. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. A lot of work goes into me just making these videos to be able to share with you wonderful strangers on the internet. And you may be wondering, why do you do it? And the answer is, I don't know. I enjoy sewing, and I figure might as well record it and put it out there. Sound logic, is it not? If you are still here, you are amazing. I want to thank you again for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you next time.